Hi, Bridget and Paul. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lynn Mandyke, and I'm the former director of the Corbin Arts Center and project manager for the Moore Turner Garden Restoration. When I began working at the Corbin Arts Center in late 1992, the site of the garden was actually a dense forest. The only remaining features that were recognizable were the rose arbor staircase and the pond. After completing a lengthy research process, I discovered that this portion of the hillside was the site of an elaborate garden. What you may not know is in 2004, the east stone wall of the lower arbor staircase began breaking away from the treads. The only thing holding the wall in place was a young linden tree. Dwayne Dietz drove to Spokane that weekend, and on Saturday, we removed the roots and mud and covered the wall. I immediately contacted the Spokane Preservation Advocates and prepared an application for a Heritage Fund grant. The following spring, that $5,000 grant was the seed funds that saved the staircase and became the beginning of the $1.5 million restoration project. At that time, the Rose Arbor staircase was the most valuable historic resource still intact in the garden. I always wonder what the garden would look like today without the important Heritage Fund grant. SPA grants have also underwritten important historic preservation projects in Edwidge-Walton Park, including placing the D.C. Corbin House on the state and national historic registers, the gardens on local and state registers, providing support funding for the National Register's City of Spokane Parks and Boulevard multi-property documentation, making it possible to list Manitou Park and Boulevard and Coeur d'Alene Park on the National Register of Historic Places. Thank you so much for the funding for those projects that are so important to our community. The Spokane Preservation Advocates Heritage Fund grant program is so important to those projects that are historic assets to our community, and without that funding may never begin to be able to be restored.